Thanks for joining the course. So I'll first use this opportunity to appreciate and thank the people that actually tried this project out. It's not that maybe I purposely want to do something maybe bad to everybody or growing some kind of hatred, but I'm just trying to give you what these people can give you to work on. Are you getting it? You can never go for a project as a professional and they will now tell you that, oh, what we are giving you right now, they will now tell you everything, how you are going to do it. They will just give you, go and sort this problem out. But you do your research on your own, you get it, and you try and find a solution to it. That's what they call how to undo uncertainty, to my own understanding. Do you get it? And the only thing that can make this possible is your commitment towards it. If you have the determination that, oh, I can never do this, then you can't. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Me, there are some networking questions they will give me. Most time the tutor will not finish it. Like the one you see me doing right now. The tutor that taught me has not finished teaching me. But me, I was able to figure it out now. And I've understand how the thing goes. So the first practical here is designing and implementing a multi-zone DMZ. Designing and implementing a multi-zone DMZ. And what this practical is actually telling us is how to prevent how to use a firewall to protect our applications with the likes of web, app, and database. And one thing I would also like to explain the difference between web server and database server. You see web server now, it's like if you want to log in into, maybe you want to go and check, let me use TS Academy as an example. Once you enter TS Academy right now like this, everybody, both non-technical and technical students, they can enter TS Academy portal, which is web server. So web server is free. Both living things and non-living things can enter. But before you can create any account with TS Academy, you need to have a password and username. And that password and username that you use to create an account with TS Academy, every one of us have what we called LMS. Are you getting it? Admin own is different from mine. Other people own too is different from mine. Because we have different username and password. So that one itself now, it's not serving as a web server anymore. It has now become our own database. Are you getting it? It has become our own database. Or let me use a better explanation for this. As a university student, we normally have what we call school portal. So either you are schooling in that university or not. But if you go to Google or Mozilla Firefox, if you type the school portal online, you'll be able to access it. But if you enter the school portal, they will surely ask for your what? Your matric number and password. Are you getting it? So that matric number and password that you put in will now show your database, where you will see your course form, where you will see your results, where you see your everything that has to do with you in the university. That's what is called your database, which means it is internal, which is personal for you. But for the university portal, it is just like a web where everybody can just access. But your database, people cannot access it unless they have an good authentication. like your username and password. So let me continue. So now they now said this scenario now, the enterprise newest secure has a web server that must be accessible to the public. Accessible to the public. I'm coming. I want to try and split this. Oh no. Okay. That must be accessible to the public. Oh, the thing is not working. All right. So they now say the web server needs to pull data from a private SQL database. Then the database must never be directly accessible from the internet, like I explained earlier. Because you are logging into someone else's school portal doesn't mean you can have access to their database. So what we are trying to do is how to secure it. And in this practical, they said the tools we needed is Cisco Packet Tracer to simulate the network topology. And they said we need Cisco ASA image, which will serve as our virtual firewall appliances. So let me go to this ASA image. You see this ASA image here. You can use it, but it exists on Cisco Packet Tracer, but it can only show 2-layer security, which is layer 2 security. Layer 2 security. Are you getting it? But if you look at router can still accommodate 3-layer security. And the only layer as our image can actually occupy is the inside and outside, which is our wide area network and local area network. But this our DMZ is our public server. This one cannot work on the ASA image on Cisco Packet Tracer, because Cisco Packet Tracer is like a free networking learning platform for us as a beginners. That's why we are using it. As a network engineer that is working for a company, you cannot be using Cisco Packet Tracer you can use it and design your own topology the way you want it. Then you sketch it out and show, oh, this company, this is how I will do this. You get it? Then they will now provide the real life tools you need or you needed to perform the task. There's something we call GNS theory also. That one is a paid tool. I think it is about $200 upward you pay per year. If we are using that, this ASA image comes with it, and you can use that 3-tiered homed architecture inside it that will work perfectly fine without any obstruction. So that's it. So I see a lot of people are having difficulties using that ASA, even though you use it, but there's a way you can manipulate around it. But that one is under restriction. That means you are going or you are bypassing their rules and regulation. So that's the reason why we are using router. So they now said early Linux distro. Assuming we are using that GNS S3 now, everything we are doing there, we can actually ping our IP address from our Kali Linux directly without any problem. So now, step 1, they said the topology setup. Create 3 distinct security zones: the wide area network, the DMZ, and the LAN, local area network, which is our what? Private, which is internal. So let's start. Any questions so far?
Excuse me, can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Yeah, Brahma, please, what is this DMZ? Because you say multi-zone DMZ. I want to know, what does it mean? What does it connote there?
This DMZ is demilitarized zone.
Okay.
And what I mean by demilitarized zone, I would like to also explain what I mean by demilitarized zone. I've used this example earlier. Let's assume I'm holding maybe a program, maybe a webinar or a seminar. I now have people that is securing the what? The environment with the likes of bouncer, security. I now told that bouncer and security that I don't want anybody that is a draft to enter this gate. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Me telling them not to allow a draft to enter that gate is meaning, the meaning is that I've made them the DMZ at the entrance. Because if I did not tell them, and it is what you tell them they will do, assuming I did not tell them and the draft enter, I mean, I now went out and I was maybe telling them that why will you allow such and all those things. The question they will ask me is, did you told us not to allow draft to enter this center? And if I said, oh, I didn't tell you, then they have what? They have won. So that's the work of this demilitarized zone. Are you
Please, how
getting
is it? Yeah, how is it different from intrusion detection system?
Okay, we have IDS, we have IPS. Intrusion detection system, the only thing they do is what? They only monitor maybe attacks, but they cannot fight against it. Are you getting it? But this demilitarized zone is also working together with firewall. But you see, intrusion prevention system, most times it is very good, most times it is very bad. Because the way it works, they will monitor, they will detect, and they will block. That's the work of intrusion prevention system, yes. But IDS, which is intrusion detection, their own is just what? Detect.
Yeah.
Detect it, they will now report to the IPS. It is now the IPS that will now check or monitor the logs and everything. They will now check through all the malicious activity. From there, they will know, oh, this thing, we have to block it immediately. And that's where we have 4 types of alert. I don't know whether we have heard about alert before. We have true positive, we have false negative, we have true negative, and we also have false negative. And let me explain shortly. The true positive is like malicious activity that is identified as an attack. That's a true positive. That means you saw a malicious activity and you identify them as an attack. But false positive, it is like a legitimate activity that is identified as an attack. That means it is not normal, because you can't identify a legitimate activity and also you can't see a legitimate activity and think of it like, say, oh, this thing is an attack. And the true negative, this one is legitimate activity that is identified as a legitimate traffic. That's true negative. And the last one we have is false positive. That one is telling us that malicious activities is identified as legitimate traffic. That's just the difference between those those alerts. Am I able to answer your question, or you need more insight on it?
All right, sir.
Thank you, sir. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand. Thank you.
Welcome. I have a note on intrusion prevention system and what's it called? IPS and yes, I have notes on them. I will send them. It is among these. I don't think we have done it. Oh, we've done it, but Miss Favor just talked about it briefly under something security in depth, where we have our physical security, where we have our endpoint security, where we have our data security, we have application security, and so on. I think they are like 7. So any other question before I go to the topology setup?
Please, everybody should try and open their Cisco packet tracer. It's going to be a hands-on project. If you're at home and you're with your system or your system is turned on, you should open it now so that we'll do it together. Can go ahead, sir.
All right, sir. So now, is there any someone who wants to ask a question?
Yes, Quinetta, I want to ask a question. Quinetta, you
Right.
can speak.
Good evening, everyone.
Even
I don't think this is a question, but I just want us to be on the same page, please.
Okay.
Do we actually understand what we are trying to do here? Because Emmanuel might just be explaining and he does the practical, but there are some people who don't know exactly what we are trying to do. So it's not about you following up and seeing the practical. You should know when a problem is being tabled. You should be able to figure out what we are asked to do before we can answer the question. So I don't know if everybody knows what we are trying to do. If you don't know, then you can say it so that they brief you on what the problem is all about, please.
okay, no comment. I think everybody understands what we're trying to do.
Don't be
Please,
shy. We are all
the
learning.
comment the comment section is open, please. If you don't want to voice out, you can just type it down there. I will read it out for you.
But it is better just type it now so we can find the way, because I don't want a situation whereby we'll start the setup and everything. I'll now be going back and forth.
For me, where I have a problem is, I think, is the configuration. Yesterday, I did set up everything, which it took me time to make a lot of research. But
Okay.
I don't know where the mistake came from. Everything was connected, but the server, the two servers was not connected. It wasn't connecting. I tried and tried and tried. You get.
Okay.
So I
But
tried multiple commands to, step by step, a command that you have to enter step by step. I did everything. It was not working. So
okay.
I think
So
I'll figure out my mistakes here today.
all right. But like what Neta said, did everybody, I think I explained this earlier, did everybody understand what this practical is all about? What we are trying to do? Because you have to understand what this is all about before we start the practical. That's why I'm going through the theory first. I don't just want to start the practical without the theory.
Okay, I
You
think
can
it will
also
be fair.
briefly
Yeah, I think it will be
explain.
fair if you brief it again. Just
Yeah,
summarize it.
Yes, just briefly
Let
explain
me
it so
just
that
say
yeah,
you know what.
the essence of this practical in brief is it is demonstrating how a DMZ architecture can securely host public services while keeping maybe our sensitive data with the likes of password, our LMS, our internal data, internal system isolated and protected from unauthorized access. That's what we are trying to do. We are just trying to know that, our web server can access, no, our attacker can access the web server. Like I said, you can't say, okay, because you are an attacker and they will not allow you to access Instagram. No, they don't know whether you're an attacker or not. But we are assuming, like an attacker, we have access to a web server, but we don't want our attacker to have access to your database server, which belongs to you. It is like your personal data. We don't want an attacker to have access to it. That's why we are using a firewall. And the firewall we are using, that means the attacker PC, before the attacker can maybe find a way or a route to go to the database server, it will have to pass through the firewall. And the firewall will ask you, where are you going to? The attacker PC will now say, I'm going to the database server. Did you have an invitation? I don't have. Then go back. Do you understand? So that's actually the essence of this practical. We're actually restraining our attacker from accessing our database server, meaning that our attacker don't have an authorized access to access the database server, so they can have access. That's where our CIA thread comes in: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Are you getting it? Your database server, before you can access it, that's confidentiality and integrity. But what is the availability? Is the one that is, oh, you must have access to this at any point in time. So that means we have our firewall there giving us availability. Okay, even though something wants to go on, I have a firewall. Do you get it? And I'm sure my firewall cannot shut down. Do you get it? So that's just the essence of what we are just trying to do. We are just trying to use maybe a little real life scenario by using these little end devices and routers with switches to communicate to each other. I hope everybody understand.
I think that is fair enough.
Yes, I understand.
Okay. So now, what we need here is you go to your router, you pick 2911. Is it? Is it? From here, you go back to your switch. We are going to need two switch, one, then the other one, two. And the reason why I'm using two switch is this first switch is working as our DMZ switch, while the other one is working as our what? Local area network switch. Are you getting it?
Hello, Mr. Emma. Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, how do we know the switch to use, since we have different type of switch here and we are not
One thing is that
we are
you
not
see,
specified what to use inside the question.
yes, exactly. But there are some, but the one I used to advise people to use the most when talking about switch, I prefer this 2960.
Okay.
But there are other switches here now. If you try and use them and you are trying to maybe connect one device to the other, you might be seeing something like port not available. But this 2960 will always be perfect for you to work. And there are some questions they will give you pertaining to this networking. Some people used to indicate the switch they want you to use. But just know that the best switch you can use here is 2960. And the router that you can use that is best is 2911. Yes, that's correct.
2911 for the switch. Okay, yeah.
Yes. Can I proceed?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Now that we have our switch, we have this also here like this. We have our router. And now, we said we have our what? Wide area network, which is serving as our attacker PC. Then that means we need a PC. This is our PC here. So we other need another PC for the internal, which is like maybe me. Let's say this is my own PC like this. This is my own PC. This is just my PC. We now need the web server that was stated. This is the web server, and this is the database server. Am I communicating?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Now, so as far you will not have maybe any mistake or the other, you can just name them. Name this, change it to firewall. Our router is serving as firewall. Our PC here, change it to one attacker PC. Then this switch, change it to DMZ switch. Then this server, web server. This switch, LAN switch. database server. Then this one will be internal PC. You can make it internal or employee PC, anyhow you want to name it, just for you to understand it. So this is it. You can decide and use something like this color to maybe don't let me, that one will take our time. Let me just continue. I beg.
All right.
So you go to your connection cable. You can use auto, but one thing you have to do is just this. Then from this, fast Ethernet 0 to what? To your firewall. Gigabit Ethernet 0-0. Then one thing, this same cable, take it from your switch, fast Ethernet 0-1 to what? To your firewall. Gigabit 0 that. Then again, from your firewall to your LAN switch. Is it. The next, this Ethernet 0-2 to this. Then this from your switch to this. And the next one is from your this to this. Are you all following?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So the way we have it now, the next thing we have to do is we need to find, so before I start anything, let me go back to the document because I want everybody to understand it very well. They said the IP address is 192.168.1.0 dash or /24. They said our DMZ is 172.16.1.0/24 and our LAN is 10.0.1.0/24. What they mean is, just go back here. Just note it. Just put it down. 192.168.1.0/24. Come here. This area now. 172.16.1.0, sorry, .0/24. Come to this side. 10.0.1.0/24. Okay. I would like to elaborate more on this /24 for the people that do not understand. There's something we call host bit, usable range, and so on and so forth, because we have different classes of IP version 4. And all these IP addresses you see here are all class C, which is for private network. And we all know that IP version 4 is 32 bits, while IP version 6 is what? 128 bits, which is also notified in what? Hexadecimal or extent. So from here, all these 24 you are seeing are like a subnet. We can have dash 24, we can have dash 16, we can have dash 19, and so on and so forth. So from here, what you do is, I just want to do little calculation. 32 minus 24 equals to what? 8. This 8 you are seeing here is our what? Is our host bit. Host bit. We call it host bit. You enter. Then, if you now want to get this IP address now, how many range of IP address can exist in this dash 24? Then that will now be 2 raised to power your host bit, which will be 2 raised to power 8. 2 raised to power 8 is 256. That's 256 minus 2. That means if you want to get your usable range inside any IP addresses, what you just do is 2 raised to power host bit minus 2. Then this one will be minus 2 equals to what? 254. Are you getting it? That means the network address for this 192.168.1.0 is this. Is this what you're seeing here? But the IP address range, the broadcast IP address range, will now be 192.168.1.255. 192.168.1.255. Now, the number of hosts that can be available here is 254, the answer I got earlier. But now, they now want to ask, okay, from this 0, how many range of addresses can exist? Since it is dash 24 slash 24, it will now be from 192.168.1.1 to 192.168.1.254. That means any IP address from 192.168.1.1 to 192.168.1.254 can exist inside this 192.168.1.0. Do you understand?
No, I don't.
That part I don't understand.
I will explain again. But you understand how I got it? Do you understand how I got 8 and 254?
No.
Okay. I said IP version 4. The bit that IP version 4 consists is 32 bits. So that 32 bits, this subnet we have here is /24. Subtract that 24 minus 32. The answer you are going to have is what? Is 8. But now, after you have now gotten that 8, you now want to check the usable host that can exist inside that address. So what you now do is you now use 2 raised to power host bits minus 2. That's how I got this 254. That means the 8 is our what? The 8 is our host bit. But this 254 now is our usable host. Like the amount of people the host can accommodate. Let me do another example so you understand. Let's assume you are having dash. We are not using /24 again. Let's assume you are using maybe 8. That would be 32 minus 8. That's 24. 24. Then 24 now, that will now be 2 raised to power 24. It's very long ago. That's like 16,777,216 usable hosts. That means that one is not class C anymore. If you look at that, that is on class A. And class A is ranging from 0 to what? 0 to 127. Are you getting it?
Please, if he's asking questions and you are not clear, be answering, please. Victoria, did you get what you just did now?
Yes, please continue.
Okay. The reason why I'm explaining this is we will reach one level, but you'll be able to understand what I'm doing here. So that's what I'm trying to explain it. Right. Okay. Okay, now. So now, the next thing we are now going to do is all these 192.168.1.0, 172.16.1.0, and this last one, they are just network addresses. That's why you see that whenever you want to configure to a router, we normally use 192.168.1.1 as our default gateway most times. Then from 2 now, from 2 to that 254, you can give your PC. You can even give this attacker PC 192.168.1.253. It will still work. So as far it's still within that usable range. Are you getting it? So that's it. So now, the next thing is we are going to this firewall to make sure that this, look at it. You see that it's showing gigabit, Ethernet 0-0, all of them is down. Before this thing can work now, before this thing can give us green light, it has to be what? Up. So now, let's go inside. Click on your firewall. Then you go to your CLI. You click no. You type no rather. Then enter. Then we change it to what? Enable, then config mode, which is config T. Then after config T, what you do is interface gigabit Ethernet, Ethernet 0-/0. No, let me check, I beg. Okay, it's correct. Then you enter. From here, you do your IP address 192.168.1.1 space 255.255.255.0. Then enter. No shutdown. Enter. You exit. After you exit, let me see. Okay. Then you exit the next time. Then you enable again. Config T. After config T, then interface gigabit Ethernet 0/1. Then IP address. Now it's not 192 again. The other network is 172.16.1.1. dot 1, then space, then 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot 0. No shut down. You exit first time, exit second time, you are out. Last one, enable config T, then interface gigabit Ethernet. Ethernet 0/2 IP address 10.0.1.1 space. Enter. Then no shut down. You exit. You exit. And one thing, after you've done this, make sure you save it. But we used to use 2 commands to save. I will type the 2, but the one that you feel like you can remember fast, you can use it. Either we use copy, running, config, then space, start up, config. You can use this, it will save. Other one that you can use just write memory. You see, it's very simple. Just enter. It has saved. The way it is right now, like this, you can just say, okay, you want to check, you can just say show interface IP brief. Oh, sorry. Show interface IP brief. Why is it not showing? I'm coming. Can you see? Show IP interface brief. Can you see that everything is showing that it is up now? Hello.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Any
I can.
questions so far? Or I can continue.
Continue.
Okay. You said everything is showing green now. So what I would like to do next is I will assign IP addresses. So what we do now is we use this you can write it down so you don't forget. Use this one 192.168.1.10. I'm using 10 for that. No. This DMZ, I'm using 172.16.1.10. Which is for this one. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake. So that you not get confused. I'm coming. So this one, this IP address is not for the switch, it's for the server. The switch is not for the switch. So this database server will be 10 0.1.10. Enter. Then our internal PC 10.0.1.20. Then we are done. So now what we now do is, since we know our addresses now, let's just go and what? Assign them. Go to your attacker PC, go to your desktop IP, then you state it 192.168.1.10. Our default gateway 192.168.1.1. We are done. Your server, go to your desktop 192.168. No, sorry, 172.16.1.10. You enter. In here, 172.16.1.1. Oh, God. Then our database server 10.0.1.20.10. Then default gateway 10.0.1.1. Then this desktop 10.0.1.20. 10.0.1.1. We now look at everything. The IP address are showing. Can you see? They are all showing. Please, I'm coming out to just take water. So let's go back to our. So now we are done with the topology. The next one that we are now doing is what? They said the configuration we should implement on our firewall. Yeah, before I assign them, let me explain first. What we are doing here, rule A. Rule A is telling us to allow HTTP and HTTPS from one to DMZ web server. Let me go back to the topology. What they are saying is we should allow this. Can everybody see what we should allow this our attacker PC now. We should allow it to have access to this web server. Yeah. Either it is secured or not secured, which is HTTP and HTTPS, hypertext transfer protocol and hypertext transfer protocol secured. That's the meaning of that rule A. They say we should permit either it is secure or not, but we should permit it to have access to the web server. That's the rule A. So the rule B, they say we should allow SQL traffic, which is port 1433, from DMZ web server to LAN database. What they are telling us here is that we should allow this our DMZ web server here to be able to access this our database, meaning that this our database here, we move from here to the switch to the firewall and access the web server. That's what the rule 2 is talking about. We should allow it. Then rule 3, they say we should deny all traffic initiated from WAN to LAN. What they mean here is any movement from this attacker PC, we should restrict it. We should restrict attacker PC from going to the firewall, then going to the what? To the database server. So we should restrict it. Whenever the attacker PC is trying to go to this region, firewall should send the attacker back. That's what the rule C is talking about. So rule D, they said we should deny all traffic initiated from DMZ to WAN. Initiated from DMZ to WAN. And the reason why is to prevent data exfiltration if the web server is what? Is hacked. I will explain. Okay. Now, what you are saying is that any traffic that is initiated around this region, we should deny it. And the reason why we are denying it is because if this web server is being hacked, this attacker PC, this attacker PC can have access to what? To the web server. But DMZ that is here will not allow. He's standing here as a military man that no, even though you come here, even though you take this thing on web server, you actually take anything from web server, you cannot take it. Because if you take it from this web server, you have to pass through my switch, which is this military man. And this military man will ask you, what are you going with? And you have to show him. And if you are unable to show him, then what? Or if you show him and he see that, oh, this thing you are taking away is a sensitive data, go and return it back. Are you getting it? Once the attacker PC return it back, then what? The attacker will go back. I'm just trying to use real life scenario to explain what this DM switch is doing here. Are you getting it? So, did you understand the way I did the scenario before we start doing the configuration?
Yeah, I think it's fair enough.
Okay. So now, let's start. The firewall. Oh, God of Jesus. Enter. Enable, always. Config T. Then you start by access list. 100 space 100 permit. Then TCP any space host, then the IP address of the what? The web server 172.16.1.10. Because the reason why I'm using IP address of the web server is we are what? Allowing one to access the web server. That's just it. Then you put your EQ. Then the port we are allowing 80. This access means allow. This permit means allow the traffic to come in. This TCP is what? Allow only transmission control protocol to come in, which can be our maybe UDP, our we have under this TCP, we have all this HTTP, we have or HTTPS. Allow it to come in. And the host is the IP address we are allowing, or the one that we want to have access to. Then the EQ80 is just what? The destination port. Then you enter. That's for secured. No, that's for non-secured. So now let's do for secured. Access list 100 permits TCP any host, then 172.16.1.10 EQ 443. Then we enter. After we have entered, the next one we are now going to do is to what? Is to block one from having access, this our attacker PC, from having access to what? To the internal PC. And with that, what you just do is access list, then 100 deny. We are denying. Blocking is also the same thing as denying. So we deny IP any. Oh, IP any, then 10.0.1.0. The reason why I'm using, did anybody understand the reason why I'm using 10.0.1.0 and I'm not using 10.0.1.10 or 20? Can anybody tell me? I want to see whether you are following.
Just tell us why you are using it.
What do you say?
We are following, but tell us why you are using it. I don't understand.
Okay. You see, the reason why I'm using 10.0.1.0 is because that is the network address for the local area network area. And like I mentioned earlier, you see this area now, this 10.0.1.0, the usable range of addresses that can be there is from 10.0.1.1 to 10.0.1.254. That means if I put only 10.0.1.10 here, it is only this one that the attacker will not have access to. That means if there are other ones I put here, if we have other PC here, and I did only for database server, that means the attacker will still be able to attack other PC that are there. But the reason, since I'm trying to block this 10.0.1.0, that means no matter all the IP address in 10.0.1.1 to 254, the attacker PC is trying to penetrate into, the attacker will be denied. That's why I'm using 10.0.1.0. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Then after space, you put your 0.0.0.255. You enter. Then you access list 100 permit IP any. Then you enter. And this one now, before we can continue, we know that it is under interface gigabit Ethernet 0.0. Then just do interface. You can just say interface gigabit 0/0. Then now after that, you now do IP access, then group 100 in. Then you enter. The next one we are doing now is to allow web server to have access to our what? To our what? Database. Our web server to have access to what? To the database. So this one is just like access list 100 permit TCP host 172.16.1.10. Then host. Because what we are doing there is the web server to the what? To the database. Then host, you just put 10.0.1.10. That's for the what? Database. Then EQ 1433, which is our SQL port. Then we enter. After we have entered, then the next one they said we should block DMZ to 1. So we do access list again. Hundred 9 IP any 192.168.1.0, then space 0.0.0.255. Then you enter. Next one is now access list 100 permit any access list 100 permit any. So after this, we exit. After we've exit, then like what I said, you make sure you save. So you just do write memory. That means you've saved everything we have done here. So let's check everything we have done here. Show access lists 100. Can you see everything we did? Is there any question?
No question.
So these are everything we've done here. So now let's go to this. I want to try and do something. So now let's go to command prompt. Let me ping 192.168.1.10 to work. Let me ping 172.168 no, .16.1.10. Can you see it give me results? So what I'm doing here is, you know that this 172.16.1.10 is for what? Is for the web server. That means the attacker PC can access the web server. That's what we are seeing here. You know that we allowed it, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Now, let's now try and ping this database server and internal PC from the attacker PC. Then ping 10.0.1.10. Can you see? What can you see?
No, it's successful.
It's not successful. Check it very well. Read
Okay,
it.
yeah, it's not successful.
What do you see?
package.
Destination host unreachable.
Yeah.
Now, let me ping the other one. Ping 10.0.1.20. What can you see again?
Unreachable.
Can you see? And now I want to do an example of what I mean by using that 10.0.1.0 earlier. You know that it is only 10.0.1.10 and .20 that we configured in this our topology. I want to ping another number that is not here. You will see that it will give us this destination host unreachable. Ping 10.0.1.254. What can you see?
Unreachable.
Let me ping 10.0.1.88. What can you see?
Unreachable also.
Meaning that firewall, all the topology, all the security we implemented doing this are working. Or better still, after this, you can just go to maybe your web browser also. This one will show more. Let me just use this web browser. So just ping 172.16.1.10. It should load. Can you see that is loading? That our attacker PC can access the web server, right?
Yeah.
So now let me go back. Let me now say our attacker PC want to access what? Our database server or internal PC. So let's use 10.0.1.10. You will see what it will bring. Request time out. What do you see? Request time out. Let me use 20 also. That one also is what? Request time out. That means everything we did in this topology setup, the firewall, everything is what? Is working perfectly. Meaning that we have blocked access from our one attacker to have access to our what? LAN area, which is working correctly. Because when we ping from the attacker PC to the database server, it's not working, right?
Yeah.
But now, when we ping our attacker PC to the web server, it is working because we allowed it. Are you getting it? Now, there's other one that we did. Let me try and do it. From this your database server now, they said we should have access to our what? Our web server. You can come here and just ping 172.16.1.10. I think it should work. Can you see that it's working?
Yes.
It's because we allowed it. Assuming we did not allow it, it will not work. So that means the essence of this practical is what? is blocking our attacker from having access. It's like, okay, blocking unauthorized access from our what? Our database server. That's just the meaning of it. It is like you want to work as a network engineer now. They now call you that, oh, we are setting up this our company, but our own database server in this company, we don't want an outsider to have access to it. How are you going to help us do it? Then you now come with and say, oh, we can actually build a firewall that will restrict an access. So that's just the meaning of what we actually did right now. So far, so good. I think I've been able to explain this practical one properly, or we still need more. I need a question. I need people to ask me questions. Please just ask me a question. I'm available.
Okay, the floor is open for questions, please.
Hello, Emma.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. No, my eyes are dawning. Sorry, it's not your fault. It's just the way things are going. I like what you're doing, and I also believe every other person appreciates your depth of knowledge in this career.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
But
sir.
my challenge is I have taken a constantly look at what you're doing, and I wish I can also grasp, or I can internalize everything you have done to be able to also deploy, or to be able to give out exactly what you have just done. So I don't know. I don't know how I don't even understand how to start, because what you have just done now is quite different from what the topology that I established. But if I may ask you further, is it possible for you to change the topology from what you've just designed? Can you change it and do it any other way? Will it still work apart from the configuration? Because I know the flow of the data is because of the configuration. But if you change the tools, the position of the tools, will it still work the way it's working now?
No. Like changing the tools as well, sir.
Changing the position. I'm talking about the position, for example, the PC1. You take it from where it is and keep it maybe at the position of the server, and then take the server, take it to the position of the switch, and then possibly the database. You swap positions like that. Will it still work?
Everything will work. Let me show you what. Okay, I want to go back to the screen right now. You mean this my web server now?
Yes.
I should take it to this attacker PC side.
Yes, you take it down there. Then you take the attacker PC, possibly you take it back down to database server's position.
Like I should, okay, you mean I should change this attacker PC to database server, and I should bring this attacker PC to this database server side?
Yes, swap the position.
It will not work. The reason why it will not work is what I thought you were talking about is maybe bringing the only thing that can work here is just changing this. Like you can just change this to this side. Or is that what you are talking about? I'm coming. Is this what you are talking about? Hello, sir. Hello.
Oh, sorry, I muted myself. Sorry.
Is this what you are talking about?
Yes, you now change the way your cursor is now. You take that database server and then take it to the previous place that the attacker PC was.
Okay, let me. I want to do what you are trying to say. So I should take this out like this.
I think if it's this way, it will be confusing.
Is it like this you are talking about?
Yes.
It will work. The reason is, see, one thing about this thing is, no matter how you set it up, one thing you just have to understand it. Understand what you are working with. Understand that you assign the actual IP address, the necessary IP address that you ought to use. It doesn't matter that this attacker PC is on the left or the right. You are just saying this same attacker PC now, if I ping it here, it cannot have access to this. It cannot have access to this database server at all. It cannot have access to it. It doesn't matter how you set it up. But one thing that is there is, so as far this thing is still showing, the port you connected it is showing, and you have configured it on the router. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
And you have configured it on the router. But the only thing that can make this thing change is that, let's assume it is the DMZ switch that you connected to the firewall first. That means if you want to do the configuration on the router, instead of you using gigabit Ethernet 0-1 for your DMZ switch, you are now going to use Ethernet, gigabit Ethernet 0-0. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's just the only thing you have to change.
Okay.
Because what you said now, I had a difficulty in one thing I did earlier, but I have to troubleshoot. I've configured everything and now see that I cannot ping. When I went to check it, I see that the port I configured is not the port I connected to. So I have to change it. And there's a way you can also change it. You just go to that config, enable config. After it, then you now put no, like you are saying, there is no IP address of this sort. After that, they now said you now rename another IP address, like, oh, IP address, then you put the correct one, it will work. But either you put this one attacker here or here, it will still work. The thing you just have to understand is, understand the question you are being given and how to what shuffle around it, how to navigate around it. That's just it.
Okay, thank you so much. But is it possible for you to recap the configuration, that configuration pattern? Is it possible for you to recap, because that is the aspect that really guarantees the flow of the data?
Is it on the firewall?
Yeah, from the firewall to yes, on the firewall, very important. The way you brought everything up here and then you now ping to see that it is working. It's a bit confusing, to be very candid. I don't know whether other people understand, but that is my own caveat.
But you understand how I did it, all this IP address, how I did all this,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Eh?
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing I just did there was not much. These are all the things I did. You just enable. I'm trying to see a way. Oh, I want to try and copy it. Let me paste it to the group. I've sent it to the group. That's just what I did. I'm coming. Let me go back to my. Okay. If I said I want to go through this again, that means I have to remove the router from scratch and start it again.
It's okay. You can leave it there. I will listen to the video again.
Okay, sir.
Watch the video rather. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, sir. Is there any other question, please?
Okay, here's my question. There is
Okay.
a place you do you type a command which is gigabit 0/0. You did not spell it completely, just the G 0/0.
It will
So
work.
my question
It is
is,
okay.
can you still write? Can you still spell it completely
Yes,
and
you
it will
either you
work?
spell it completely or that it will still work.
Okay.
It will still work. That's just it. It will work 100%.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any more questions?
Okay, I want to assume that all of us understood what he just did right here, right?
Yes, yes, and I have a suggestion, please. I have a problem finding the video each time we finish with classes like this. I can't find the video and I don't know where it's being posted. So I think they should be putting or dropping the link or the video on
I'm
assignment group
always,
or something.
I'm always dropping the link.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
This is the other practical.
So if at all we're having any other meeting tomorrow, I will let you
Okay,
guys
I
know.
know. I'm just talking about. So
No,
now I
no,
think everybody understand what I've done right now like this.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, I want to add something. From the walkthrough here,
Okay.
from the walkthrough, the tools that are required. We have that's the last one. They say any Linux distro. That's either Ubuntu or Kali Linux. Are we using something like that on this project?
You know that I said something that this particular one now, where we can
Yeah.
actually make use of it is downloading that server and install it inside our what? Virtual box.
Okay.
So if you do it inside your virtual box, you know that you are in the virtual box surroundings. So you'll be able to ping it. You'll be able to ping that thing. Because anything you allowed or block inside that place, if you ping it on that your Kali machine, you will see results. So that's just it.
Okay. All right. It's fine.
So there is a Cisco package user in Kali.
No, I don't think so. But I think there should be a way to download it. You can set it up on your Kali too. I'm very sure there's a way. You can set it up on your Kali. I remember, yes. You can set it up. It has a process. So I think everybody is okay with the presentation and we all understand how it works now.